this is Nikita, who is the creator of this channel, the Crown Chakra 333. And if you don't already know me, then well, hi, welcome to the channel. And if you do know me, well, then hi. Okay, so I've been debating this in my head for a bit. I wanted to do a video on this topic, actually two topics, but they kind of merge well together. It's ego and God. Now this can be triggering or well, something that you may or may not resonate with. But before I even begin going into these two topics, ideas, or whatever it is, I want to make sure that this is my perspective. This is how I choose to see these terms, these ideologies, and the explanation about it. And I know most of you who know me, you are already thinking in your head that you don't need to explain yourself, but this is for a larger audience. And whoever comes across this, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to impose my perspective on you, but rather trying to communicate an aspect of these two topics that many fail to recognize and acknowledge. More so, the unconscious beliefs and biases that have been going around about the ego and God, goddess, or God consciousness. Okay, so ego. So the first thing that usually comes to everyone's mind when they hear the word ego is closely related to somebody having superiority complex. And well, that is a part of it, but it's not the whole it. Ego is something that is a part of us. Like, it's a part of us that also helps us decipher when to place boundaries, when to have this level of distinction between self-care and being selfish. And a lot of people, when they are told that you're functioning from your ego, they perceive that we are trying to come at them by telling them that they are being mean. Now, acting out from ego and being mean are two very different things. Ego is not just about having an attitude. Again, even the word attitude has different meanings and explanations. Attitude is not just something that is bad, it's something, again, which is a part of us. It's an approach. It's how we react, how we communicate, how we respond, in fact, as well. Coming back to ego though. Ego is that part of you that gets offended when another human being, another soul says or does something that doesn't resonate with how you choose to function in your life. Any emotion such as hate, anger, sadness, negativity, or blaming someone for what they've done to you, all of that is your ego just trying to give this other person or other thing or situation an identity in your mind, so it can create a story that you can live with. Make sense? As humans, we have the tendency to know everything, or at least the want to know this, how this happened, this is how it happened, this is how it went, this is what she did, this is what he did, this is what they did, and now that's why I am like this. You know, when we fall into the pit of focusing on you did this and that's why I am like this, sorry, the words you and I also stem from ego. That's the thing. Ego is not just one thing. It's something. It's a part of you that wants to give everything and every situation an identity and an explanation of why it happened the way it did, or what happened, or who made it happen, or who did that to you. Ego is a part of you that always wants to pin it on something or someone else. Ego is that part of you that wants to pin it on someone else and something else, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to you here. And the part of you that always tries to fit into an identity or a word to associate yourself with is ego. Now, I know a lot of you will probably try to tell me that, well, then what about the perspective where everything has a label, or every position has a label, like friends, father, mother, banker, receptionist, anything that has a label. What if that is ego? Being a boss, being a manager, acting out of that instinct, is that ego? That is the thin line that I was trying to talk about. Ego is when you are choosing to react, again, choosing to react. Ego is the unconsciousness, whereas the other part of you is consciousness, the awareness. So when you are aware of doing what you are about to do, or making the choice that you're about to make, that I am aware of this situation, I'm aware what's going on, I'm aware what steps I'm trying to take, the definition of I am then changes. Because again, that I am is not coming from a place where you are labeling yourself to a title which feeds to your superiority complex. Rather, you are stepping into your consciousness, your awareness that that's who you are and who you choose to embody. Again, that's why the thin line, you see. And when we even communicate to people, most of the people say that this person is embodying goddess energy, and this person is embodying attitude or out of ego. How people figure out that difference, that's energy. And when a person is acting out of I am the king, and another person is acting out of I am a goddess, I am a god, you see, that energy, it speaks for itself. That's how our soul, our heart, our intuition, it identifies the authenticity in ourselves and the soul that is in front of us. And to be honest, I've been debating about like this video for a while, and I didn't know what I wanted to say for a bit. But then I was constantly being told by my guides that just sit down and start talking, and we'll tell you what you need to say, and it's all coming out just fine. Anyway, yeah, so let's also add another point here about consciousness and unconsciousness. When another person is triggering you or blaming you, or they are doing something that makes a part of you think that they are doing this to me, when you try to identify yourself with that kind of a label, that's when you know that it's your ego who wants to just have some identity, rather be it like sorry, it would rather have an identity than stay in the aspect of nothingness or just being. It's like, why do you have to be something? Why do you have to have an association with a title? Or why do you need an explanation for the way that you are? Why can't it stop at just being? Period. Nothing else. Just be. And when you embody the version of you who is present, who acts out of being present, awareness is again being present. That's when you make the shift from functioning from your ego to a present being, a conscious body. That is, even though it sounds like so deep, but it's such a thin line between acting out of ego and your consciousness, awareness of everything there is. You know, when people own up to who they are, most of them are questioned that what makes you think that that is you? Why would you label yourself this or that? Let's go into the zone right now where people are waking up to the truth that they are god slash goddesses, or they have that energy within them. But that's the thing. The stereotypes and the beliefs that we have grown up with, they tell us that God or goddess is something that's above us. It's something that we need to worship. It's something that we need to bend over in front of. It's something that we have to please to get their attention. All those ideas and beliefs are actually ego. That's not what God or goddess consciousness is. The biggest secret about all of this is that God is not something that is outside of you or above you. It's actually within. That is the whole point of this journey, identifying and coming to terms with the God within you, the goddess within you. And when a part of you tries to think that somebody claiming to be a god or a goddess is trying to put themselves on a pedestal by claiming to be that, you might want to just sit back and analyze for a second that what are they embodying, what aspects of that frequency are they embodying? Are they embodying that version of themselves from a triggering perspective, that when you question them, that how can you say you are a god or goddess, they get offended? Or they try to reason with you, but not like reason with you in a way that's arguing, but more so try to explain it to you how they think, how their perspective is about it. At the same time, definitely making sure that they respect your opinion regardless of the conversation. Humbleness is not just about being nice. You see, humbleness is about understanding where the person in front of you is trying to come from. Sorry, just got a notification. Also, when it comes to being nice, there is also again a thin line, because sometimes you're being nice because you think you have to, and the other one is you're being nice because that's just who you are. You see, so that can also be taken up as an example of acting out of ego and purely being who you are. People can identify, because the energy speaks for itself, whether you're being nice just for the sake of it or you are genuinely nice. That's how energy talks. So when anyone else in front of you or you yourself come to terms with the truth about your being and your consciousness, and you choosing to act out of being present and aware of every single thing that you do, the way you respond, not react, the way you respond to life, to people, to situations, to circumstances, to everything. That is the root. Being present and awareness. Everything else is just branches. If you are acting out of no awareness and unconscious beliefs, then that branches grow out into being your actions that are based on your ego self, and then that just keeps growing, and then you're far away from yourself, because that's not God consciousness. It's barely consciousness, it's unconsciousness. And the part of you that ends up being angry, resentful, greedy, fearful, that's your ego. Why somebody else's action, why somebody's behavior makes you want to think that it's directed at you? No, it's not. It's the unconscious in them that's coming to the, let's say, unconscious in you, if you are letting that affect you. Again, now I'm not emphasizing on you being out there being goody. No, if you want, you can listen to this thing again, because I mentioned that there is a thin line, and that thin line is where the journey from ego into awareness, the journey of just being, the journey from unconscious to conscious, that is how it fits. So the next time, if you hear someone claim something that they claim to be, maybe take a step back and ask yourself, why does a part of you doesn't believe what they are saying? And even if you don't at all, why is your instinct to say that, how can you say that, how can you say you are this or that? Your instinct should more so be in the awareness side of it, that tell me more, I'm curious, what led you to that conclusion about yourself? Circling us back to the point where we respect their ideologies and their perspectives on who they choose to see themselves as and with, and from whatever perspective and eyes they want to see themselves with. Before you try to change their opinion, ask yourself, why does a part of you even want to change their opinion? Because that's ego. Because accepting someone just the way they are, accepting someone for who they claim to be, accepting someone just like it, like expecting, great, I just went into a buffer zone. Point is, acceptance is, it just is. Every time a part of you chooses to go on the defense, that's how you know that's your ego. Because as human beings, we look for conflict, we look for drama, we crave for it without realizing it. And the first chance we get when it comes to having a desire to prove someone wrong and yourself right, that is where all of it stems from. That is where all your opinions, which are opposite to other people, stem from. That is where the part of you grows who doesn't want to accept people, places, and situations just as they are. Because apparently, for a lot of people, it's boring. Someone said something, that's what they think, and you accept it. Like, yeah, okay, the end of conversation. You see, that's even like monotonous. But the part of you that's arguing back with someone that, oh, really, this is who you think you are. I can't even say those things because, trust me, I don't have the energy for them. And when you reach this zone where you end up genuinely just be and let other people just be, that's when you know that you are constantly now living as a conscious, aware, present body instead of like anything opposite. Yep. For now, I think I'll stop this here, but definitely this is a topic that's so deep. I could go on and on about it, and at the same time still end up missing something that's also worth mentioning. So I'll end this here, but I'm just glad that I finally got a chance to sit down and do this. I just hope that this helps someone out there, because I've been made to, at least I was guided to do this for a reason. So yeah. And again, I know I said this in the beginning, but I'm saying this again, that this is my perspective. This is me being honest and open on how I feel and think and resonate with the things that I do. That does not mean you have to as well. Just as I would anyway and anyhow choose to respect whatever you believe in, whatever you think, and whatever your take is on these definitions of ego, God consciousness, goddess, I would respect it always. But yeah, I'm not gonna I am not going to engage in conversations that are disrespectful, I guess, because then again, nothing is ever disrespectful. But and if you try to come at me, it's just gonna be a waste of your energy, because I'm just gonna tell you that it's fine if you don't accept my perspective. I'm all good. Anyway, when I'm doing these videos, I go into such a zone of what to say and what not to say, because right now people are offended way more easily than they are in a zone of acceptance. And I guess that is also one of the reasons I've been guided to make this video, because many people, yes, have been abusing the power of freedom of speech, but at the same time there is also another side of the spectrum where the people who are genuine and are just speaking out of pure awareness and the presence of their being they are also being dragged in the mud because of contradictory views of everyone, actually. Anyway, now I'm gonna shut up. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope someone was able to take something out of this, and we'll see if we have another topic soon, maybe. And if you want me to do a video about something, just leave me a message on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever platform suits you. Yeah, okay, bye bye.